Talofa Lava, and welcome to our last Pacific morning show for the year, man, 2022. Look, it's been an amazing year. There's been so many changes. There's been, a shift with mindset, and really, it's just been a great year. And I think the show itself, we've seen a lot of improvements as well. But I'm really grateful. What an amazing year. But actually, I'm going to share what I'm grateful for this year. I really am grateful to all of our viewers who continue to tune in, to support throughout all of our platforms, across Blue TV and Pacific Mornings. But I think the one thing that I'm grateful right now is that I'm grateful to be working alongside two amazing hosts, the beautiful Hannah and Ryan, who have, oh my God, here we go with the tears, but who have been, such a massive blessing, because they've been able to help manage things, create a structure. And it's not just because it's all about the show. It's because we know the benefits of having a space where we can share our opinions and some issues that don't necessarily get addressed in our Pasifika community. So I'm grateful for the space. I'm grateful for the people that I'm surrounded with. And I really am grateful for my family and just the miracle of Christmas.
The miracle of Christmas, guys.
Baby Jesus.
Love Christmas.
I love Christmas. Can't you tell? What are you grateful for, Ryan?
We've been doing the show for about 4 months now.
Yep.
And I am really grateful for everyone who's engaged with us on any platform that we put ourselves out there. This is the first time that I've put myself in front of the camera. So this was definitely an adventure for me. And I'm really grateful for everyone that's given a lot of good feedback. Yep. And like in the 4 months, we've got 18.4K followers on TikTok, 200 extra followers on Spotify, 3.4K subscribers on YouTube.
Wow.
Like, that's
huge.
That's huge.
Yeah.
4 months of work.
Yeah.
And I know we've put in a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of effort into what we put out. And so I'm really grateful to see that we are getting a lot back from it.
Yeah.
A lot back from the viewers. So I just want to thank everyone who's tuning in and everyone who will be tuning in the future. Thank you for supporting us on this journey.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it. And I'm absolutely grateful for both what Ryan and also what Bear has been grateful for being part of an awesome team who's able to support us to deliver this. We're sponsored by Bluwave. So it's been a year, and it's been very exciting. For me personally, what I've been grateful for the most this year is that I get to do this as a job. It's really exciting. The opportunity is aligned well with my purpose as a person, which is, just trying to help people in different ways. And the fact that I'm able to do this through podcasting has been one of my biggest blessings this year. And I look forward to doing more episodes, releasing some more valuable stuff that people can use in their daily lives to better themselves financially, physically, whether it's through mental health or learning about your culture, if you're Pacific. But I'm really thankful that I have the opportunity to get to be here and share the messages that we send through our content all the time. But honestly, guys, we're really grateful. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all your opinion pieces. We love them, negative or positive. Keep engaging. It'll help us to create things that will that you guys can enjoy and you'll find useful. And thank you so much to our team. This has been a journey, and next year we're coming for you. We got huge plans for next year. But on today's show, we wanted to keep it along the Christmas theme of being grateful, of giving, of gratitude. And we're going to play a game that hasn't been released yet, but will be coming out soon. Yep. And it is called Lalaga. The purpose of this game is to weave families, friends together. With questions and levels that are quite intense. So we're going to be playing that right after this break. Can't wait. Ngalumoana. We are focused on providing digital solutions for our Pacific people. With a creative team that incorporates Pasifika values and cultures, there are no limitations. We offer a variety of digital media solutions that cater to Pacific peoples. With over 10 years' experience in graphic design and photography, we take pride in creating art with a Pacific focus. We also specialize in filming, editing, and live streaming. A digital media company serving our Pasifika families, Pasifika businesses, and Pasifika communities. Bluwave Ngalumoana. Live and breathe Pacific. Good morning and welcome back to our Pacific Morning Show. We are on our last episode for 2022. We are celebrating this year and we are in the theme of this Christmas spirit is gratitude. So we're sharing a lot of the things that we're grateful for, things that we've appreciated throughout the year. And also we're going to play this game called Lalaga, which focuses on gratitude and getting to know people, getting to know your friends, your family, and weaving people together and encouraging conversation and having close and intimate discussions with your loved ones. And this game has 5 levels, 1 to 5, and the intensity of the question is depending on the level. So you, as a player, get to decide which level you want to play. So level 1 is kind of like easy. It's like very, it's questions you're comfortable answering. But when you get to level 4, it's more deep stuff. So if you're comfortable sharing it, if you're not comfortable, you don't have to. But the purpose of this game is to weave people together, really. So we're going to play that today.
Yes.
Super excited. Sure it's not last ka torture?
Maybe we should add a torture element. Nah, just kidding. Awesome. So we're going to start with Bear. Let's go. You have level 1. Level 5 is a wild card.
Yep.
So if you pick it, anyone can ask you a question.
Okay, so I just pick any level?
Any level you feel like you want to explore.
Okay, so I think we'll go for 3. Okay, when did you first learn what racism is?
Wow, we're starting with
Just going to go with the big hitters. Ryan.
when did I learn what racism was? I can't remember the exact point where I thought, okay, that's racism. But I can remember one of the first times I felt someone direct something racist towards me. And I was in Dunedin and I was walking down the street. And down the road, there was these Balangis fishing in the river. And all I heard was, coconut.
Are you serious?
Huh? And then like, oh, coconut.
Oh my gosh.
Like, who, me?
Yeah.
Because I never, like, as much as I'm a Pacific Islander, I'd never been called a coconut before.
Yeah.
That wasn't an Islander that was calling me a coconut.
Yeah.
So it was really, it woke me up. I was like, oh, wow. I'm not in South Auckland anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not in, essentially the majority, because the majority of Pacific people are here in
Yeah.
South Auckland. I was in Dunedin. The Pacific population down there was little. And to be subject to that just by randomly walking on the street, like, I don't know if there was vitriol behind it, but yeah, being singled out is not the greatest.
You know, I personally don't recall. I think because, you know, you both know me and I think everyone knows me, I just generally just kind of like smile and wave and just kind of ignore and brush it off. And, you know, I do want to say that not everyone is racist. Not everyone is racist. And I think, you know, from time to time, you know, just the way that we interpret it is just but there's also, you know, in ourselves as well. I think there's been times where I've just kind of like, you know, thrown out a comment, not knowing it was actually a racist comment. So I think, you know, we just need to kind of educate ourselves just around that as well. But I think for me, when did I first experience it? Not really. I kind of just brushed it off. And I think for me, the education part of it really hit hard when the apology came through. And that's where I was exposed to stories, you know, from the Panthers and then the Dawn Raids and then the theatre work that the team, you know, that the Tupulanga were putting up, which was awesome. And that's kind of where the education part came through. And I thought, oh, shucks, you know, thank goodness I didn't experience it at that level. You know, but I think for
was
me,
like straight in your face.
I think for me, there's probably subtle racism that was made, but then again, you know, there were probably comments I threw around here and there, not realizing that it was racist, and I didn't really educate myself around that. So
and for me, I experienced racism at a very early age, like. The most traditional view of racism is white supremacy. White people, Palangis, shouting racial slurs at people of color. But we do forget that our own people can be a little bit racist. Even a lot racist. And that's even to ourselves. Like there's a lot of racist and derogatory abuse that I know a lot of Pacifica people throw to Indians, to Asians, to each other. And it's not cool. Like it's always like that was funny, but was it? Is it really funny anymore to comment on someone's skin color, to comment on someone's heritage background,
or the food they eat,
their size, their height? Like, is that funny? Is that hilarious that we need to keep pushing that forward?
Exactly. No, I agree with that, to be honest. And I will admit I have been racist towards Tongans, but only during the, like, you know, the Rugby World Cup banter. You know, the Samoans and Tongans go at each other all the time. But I just feel like, I definitely see a lot of that banter happen, even between Tongans and Samoans. But then it's funny because, like, the Pacific Islands, they, like, go at each other all the time. But then when some bigger race comes for us, we all come collectively together and we're like, what'd you say about Kiribati? What did you say about Tuvalu? And then the people leading that front line, I bet you, will either be a Samoan or a Tongan defending the Pacific Islands. But there is a lot of internalized racism. There also is racism between, you know, the superior, they think they're superior because there's more of them, or they have a more privileged life than other people. But I just feel like right now it's a lot more subtle. But I'm very happy that our youth are able to pick up on those subtle cues. Like, for example, I went to a store last week to hire a costume, and me and my cousin got followed around. And if it was like, you know, some years, like maybe 20, 30 years back, people would just be like, oh, they're just following us around, it's all right. But now our youth know this is not right. I'm not supposed to be treated like this. I can clearly see you're treating these customers a certain way, but you're not treating us that way. And so she literally said out loud so that all the staff could hear, I love how helpful everyone is here, like sarcastically. And then they finally came to help us instead of just following around the store. So I want to see like more of that. Understanding what racism looks like, and not everyone is racist, of course, but it's good that we're being educated in different ways. But definitely. I've experienced racism quite a bit in my life. Scaran.
Sweet. Let's go easy.
Number one.
Loaded. What is the biggest red flag, and what's the biggest green flag?
And another person?
Yeah.
Oh.
You go first, Bear. I'm trying to think on this one.
I think for me, probably the biggest red flag is when somebody is lying, like, you know that person is lying. Like, you know, like when, you know how you go through and somebody's kind of like shared something with you, and you kind of know the backstory, and then somebody's kind of, and you're familiar with this person, you're quite close to them, and then they spit out a lie. That's definitely a red flag for me. I'm just kind of like, dude, you just told me yesterday that, and now
You kind of know like their stories going everywhere.
yeah, and it's like, okay, red flag. That's definitely a red flag for me. Probably, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm just saying,
that makes sense.
when someone's kind of like sitting there and they're like, da, 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 and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to listen to this, and I'm like, hang on, this is not adding up, because that's the biggest red flag, is probably that lie. Green flag. What do you mean by green flag?
Like how you know someone is a good person.
Gosh, that's a hard one. Probably just, I think for me personally, just there's no kind of like expectation or strings attached, and that's when I kind of
love that. Yeah.
So it's when there's just no expectations of, or no strings attached, because that's when I know, and you kind of know that feeling that when you turn your back and you walk away, that they're not going to be like, yeah, if it wasn't for me, or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest green. And you kind of generally know is because they genuinely want you to be successful. And that's the green flag for me. Yeah.
That makes sense. I think I've found my one. Thank you for giving me time to think.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, it takes me so
Green
long
flag.
to come up with it takes me such a bit of time to always come up with an answer. But for red flag is someone who oversells, and it's not just a product, like anything. They're like, you can do this or accomplish this, or if it sounds too good to be true, then I'm like, red flag. I know it's like not like there's always hard work behind everything. Like I'm a big believer in that. So if someone is overselling something to me, and it could be anything, like they're like, sign up to this thing, or I'm always like, red flag, because And a green flag for me would be, I really liked your one, your no strings attached.
Yeah.
But my green flag, when I know someone's a good person, is when you first have a conversation with them and there's no sort of like agenda. You kind of just get to know each other through humor and your interest, like, oh, what are you into? Like those kind of things. And when I get to know people on a personal level and like what their interests are, that's a major green flag for me.
Yeah.
Because, in business, like we're all in different things. There's always people trying to get something from you and it gets tiring. They're like, oh, how do I get this? How do I get this? And it's just like, you don't want to know what my favorite movie is.
What is your favorite movie?
So it's like those things. People who want to get to know you personally is a huge green flag for me.
No, I agree with that. I like that. Yeah.
My biggest red flag is, and this is more specific, when I'm in the kitchen cooking, and I know what I'm doing, but anyone comes into the kitchen and they're like, "Oh, don't do it like that. Do it like this."
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh. No.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm fine. It's the same result.
Bad person.
Get out. No, it's like, for me, when I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking and I know what I'm doing, there are times where I don't know what I'm doing, and I'd be glad someone comes in and tells me. But when I do know what I'm doing, when I'm cooking like the most simplest thing, and someone's like, "Don't do it like that. Do it like this," I'm like, no.
Are you calling out mom?
Get out the kitchen.
Is it just cooking specifically?
This extends to a lot of things.
Yeah,
Like, if I know what I'm doing, and someone comes in to
I
say,
need a number 5.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Stop it. Please don't do that when you're around me. That's a big red flag. But my green flag is when people offer to buy me food, but they don't expect the payback. Not that I'm not gonna pay back, but it's like it feels really good when someone's like, "Oh, I got it. Don't worry."
Yeah.
Like, I'll pay you back. No, don't worry. I got your food. It gives me that real good vibes from that person, kind of thing, and that's when I know.
Yeah.
They're cool.
They're cool.
Now I'm gonna send Ryan invoices for the food that I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Actually, that's like a culture here at Bluwave. unless we're broke or like, guys, I want to buy you guys some food, but I will need some money from you guys.
We have to pitch in.
Yeah.
Green flag.
Yo. Oh, it's my turn, eh? Okay, let's go 4, guys. Holy crap. What event in your life altered the direction of your life?
Oh, gosh. Ryan.
Shot, Ryan.
What altered the direction of my life?
Yeah.
Would be when I moved to Dunedin. Like that was a huge. I don't know where I'd be. I don't know if I would be a lot more successful or a lot less. So, but definitely when I moved to Dunedin, that was my first step into independence. That was like the most character building thing that I thought I did at the time, and like went through the ringer down there. It was stress, depression, all of it. And I came back a stronger person. I don't know if I would still be the same had I stayed here, had I kind of remained comfortable.
Yeah.
Would I still be like
Who you are now.
who I am now, or would I be someone completely different? I definitely feel like that decision alone, the one that shocked both my parents, changed the course of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I think this one, it would definitely have to be Talia. I mean, my children, all 3 of them definitely had some part to play, and they definitely changed the direction. But Talia was probably the biggest change because I was, an older mom, and just things changed. Like my mindset changed. I went through my own personal challenges, which really altered the perspective of my direction. And had I not gone through what I had gone through with my daughter, I probably would have still been comfortable at a 9 to 5, doing what I absolutely hate. Whereas now she forced me to be a stay-at-home mom while still doing what I love, which is being here, doing podcasting, being available to the community, sharing information to the community. But, I was so focused before I had her. But now I'm just so available to her as a mom, and having that availability and the flexibility with work, honestly just didn't think it would exist. And, they said that the perfect world, a mom could, work and still be available for her kids. It exists. There is a perfect world, and it's perfect for me. It's perfect for my kids. It's perfect for my family. So definitely, Talia, personal stuff, I'm not going to share too much information, but, the whole, I think it was just being an old mom. Well, I'm not old, but, just having her at an older age, just kind of a different feeling, a different type of mom, a different approach. So, yeah, definitely altered my direction. Yeah.
Mine's very good. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Mine's very similar to Bear's. My life changed when I found out I was pregnant. And honestly, I was a very comfortable person. Like, I didn't want to do a lot of things, or I was just okay, just like being at a normal job. But then once I had Isaiah, you kind of like feel the need to be an example of what they could potentially be capable of in the future. So once I knew I was pregnant with Isaiah, it was a really rough time, but my mindset just switched. Like, it was like, nah, you have to be the example that you want to be like for your kids. So everything started changing. I started becoming more, I guess, motivated to pursue a lot of things. I started being more intentional and purposeful about the spaces that I occupy and the kind of things that I partake in. And then just ensuring that there's always a larger purpose behind why I do things. But I would have never gotten this mindset if I did not have Isaiah. I would have literally just been probably still barking on the road. I'm literally not even lying. But yeah, Isaiah was definitely like the turning point for me as well.
Like, that was deep.
Yeah.
We should take a break.
Yes, yeah.
We take a rest, take a mental break, and hopefully for the next one we can get some fun ones in there.
For sure. Not that serious. I'm going to shuffle these cards again. We'll be right back, guys.
We'll be back.
Bluwave Ngalu Moana. We are focused on providing digital solutions for our Pacific people. With a creative team that incorporates Pasifika values and cultures, there are no limitations. We offer a variety of digital media solutions that cater to Pacific peoples. With over 10 years' experience in graphic design and photography, we take pride in creating art with a Pacific focus. We also specialize in filming, editing, and live streaming. A digital media company serving our Pasifika families, Pasifika businesses, and Pasifika communities. Bluwave Ngalu Moana. Live and breathe Pacific.
Welcome back to the Pacific Morning Show, and hopefully we get some fun questions this time.
I'm actually enjoying it though.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
Start. What's your favorite conspiracy theory? Guys?
Well,
You guys go first so I know how crazy I gotta be.
I think we'll leave it with Ryan because I don't really,
I've always liked the conspiracy theory of cryptids.
I've never heard of that one.
So these are like Bigfoot.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot more, but I've always liked the fact that there's a rare animal
Yeah.
that no one's ever documented, but like only in really crappy photos.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it also keeps me on edge when we go for a walk through the forest and it's like
True.
Bigfoot's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Yeah. I don't know if it's
Is Bigfoot
as
real?
big of a conspiracy. Yeah.
Is he real? Is he?
I think it might not be Bigfoot as a lot of people think it is, but I definitely think there's something big lurking that's smart enough to hide.
Why though?
Because if a human is smart enough to be able to run away into the forest and hide
Yeah.
from their pursuers, I don't see why intelligence isn't passed on to
Yeah.
an animal that has that same amount of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just like questioning it. So like it's half animal, half human? Or
I think
animal?
it's just an animal that's a bit more intelligent
Right.
than its counterparts.
Yeah. Because an animal living out in the wild away from humans is definitely intelligent. Honestly, like, no, I'm just kidding. I don't think
happier,
anyone
right?
got that joke. Yeah, I don't think anyone got that joke. Away from society. Now that's cool.
I don't really think, you know me, I'm not really I mean, I don't believe in Yetis or
Yeah.
ET or Loch Ness monsters. Yeah. Or aliens. I think at one stage maybe, but no, I just don't really have a favorite
Yeah.
conspiracy theory. Apart from one that I mentioned, you know, off air, but that's a whole nother story and I do not want to bring that up. COVID-19.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Oh.
Only because it was so
Are we gonna get cancelled before the end of
That's
this
going to
year?
get us flagged on Spotify, on Facebook, on YouTube.
red flag. I'm just,
Disinformation. This podcast is sharing.
no, I found that interesting.
Yeah.
I don't believe I just found that, you know, everything that everyone were, you know, sharing online and
Yeah.
just how divided kind of everyone was. But I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just saying that it was just an interesting time for the world.
I found it interesting
globally.
too. Like it's hard not to deep dive into those things when you're just we were all at home, bro. Like we were on lockdown. It's like, I wonder what's really happening. And then all the thoughts start. But you're right. I find them fun. Like to
It was
dig into.
definitely I found a lot of my time was consumed by reading it and then actually thinking, actually, this could be the reason why, you know?
Yeah.
but I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah.
I just found it a very interesting time for the world.
Very interesting time. My favorite conspiracy theory, don't cancel me for this, trigger warning, is that there is an elite running the world. There's an elite group of people who run the world. They're not lizards. I don't believe in lizard people. But I do believe there is an organization of people. Some would call it the Illuminati, and they control all of Earth's resources, like media, what's pushed out. I hope Martin doesn't fire me for saying this, but there's a group of them who are controlling the world and is in charge of entertainment and everything. And they're trying to, their main source or their main interest is to control and to have everything their way. And that's where where they pour their money into is into people who are able to influence and control. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've never bought into that conspiracy theory. I've
Yeah.
never thought like, oh, the Illuminati is real. Like, I just thought it's just a joke. Not a joke, but it's just some things that people say.
Yeah.
But when you do look at it, it's kind of hard to not generate that thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the media scene in America, it's if you trace every media organization to the top, it's top 5 companies. It's an oligarchy.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that people are like, there's a small group of people that control all the media.
Yeah.
Because there's 5 companies in the US that own every media organization. And Disney is like one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised.
For sure. And it's a very small community. Like from several YouTube videos that I've watched, there's like people who say Hollywood is smaller than we think. Like everyone goes over and thinks, oh, it's like this huge thing. If you make it, you're like the best. But you only have to go through a few people to make it big in Hollywood. And a lot of people have admitted to like giving up something to get famous or rich or whatever it might
You
be.
only have to hear about the story of Harvey Weinstein
Yes.
and all the people he exploited.
Yes.
And trying to. And you
Yeah.
think, who's Harvey Weinstein? If you look at the movies that man has produced, you'll be like,
What the
I've watched like 80 of his
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
And to think that he did what he did, look it
Yeah.
up if you don't know.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the latest scandal with Balenciaga, did you hear about Balenciaga?
No.
So Balenciaga ran a new campaign, a new Christmas season campaign that they called it. Mind me, it might not be Christmas, but the photos were all insinuating or giving themes of pedophilia. And they had a bag on, like, they took a photo of a bag, and we're like in marketing, right? Everything is planned. When we do a photo shoot, it's like, this is going to be the backdrop. This is going to be the item that's going to be on the side. It makes the photo look better. So they had a bag, and then there were pieces of paper about the laws on child pornography. And then they had little teddy bears with bondage stuff on it. And then they looked into like the owners. So they have a board of people who have shares and owns in Balenciaga. And one of them is an artist who makes really screwed up kids sculptures that are very sexual and disgusting. And these are the people who are like leading the fashion industry right now, who have an obsession with kids and children. But anyways, let's go on to the next question. I know.
Before we get carried away.
Yeah. But check that out. You'll find it on TikTok easily. Just hashtag Balenciaga. They're being really thrown on about that case recently, and celebrities are speaking up against them and throwing out their clothes. And it was like a hitting brand, to be honest. It would be like the modern day Gucci evolving.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is probably why I'm not a media fanatic with
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
Tend to steer clear from that, but probably not a good idea because it's always good to.
But let's just get to
Okay. Question. So we've got level 3. How often have you tried to educate non-Pacifica people on your struggles?
so many times. I got to a point where I just didn't want to do it anymore. Like in workplaces that I've been in previously, I know people who have had to explain to university institutions the kind of struggles we face as Pacific families, and then explaining it to them, and then they just look at it as an excuse. They're like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've had to explain quite a lot of times the dynamics of the different issues that we face. And then I got to a point where I was just tired and I stopped explaining to people.
I'm just trying to remember if there was ever a time I've had to try and educate. I think not so much educate, but I have faced times where I've had a few of my friends ask me, why do you think, your situation is different from mine? And I've just kind of like given it as an explanation, and not necessarily just them wanting to educate themselves more, but that's just a better understanding. Yeah, that would be, yeah. But more just friends.
Yeah.
Different situations, why, when they would come over home, why we had to just kind of stop everything when Dad would call, "Whaile loku." And, at the time I was just kind of like embarrassed, like, why does my dad always do this when my friends are around? So just trying to make them understand that this is our way of life, and that if you want to continue to come over home, expect this is going to be part of a routine. O mai loa whaile loku. It doesn't matter who's home, my friends are Maoli, Balangi, it just didn't matter. My dad would call everyone. And so, yeah, I think those are probably the only times I remember, and I wouldn't say it a struggle, but just getting them to understand certain things. And yeah.
Yeah, I used to work in Mission Bay. Mission Bay is a very non-Pacific area.
Yeah.
So I worked alongside a lot of cool people. Like I love them. They're really very good people to work with. But being raised in a non-Pacific area, you're not exposed to the cultures. You're not exposed to the people. You don't really know like anything about them. And there were a few times where they would say something, and I would have to kind of step in and just say,
You're right.
That's not exactly true. The main thing, and this has come up a few times, is the obesity problem in the Pacific.
True.
In Pacifica. Like, it's easy to claim that Pacifica people choose to eat the worst foods. And that's why they're all big, and that's why they're all facing health problems. Easy to just make that claim. But then what I've always had to step in to say is that it's not that simple. Like, you have to look at the concentration of takeaways, fast food, all in Pacifica areas. You gotta look at the increased amount of liquor stores in Pacifica areas. You gotta look at diets from back in the islands, and then coming here, diets here. Yeah, expense, like healthy food being a bit more expensive than something cheap and something easy. And then you got to look at like work ethic. Pacifica people are working longer hours, so cooking and time for that is not as available. And so these things, like, obviously someone who's grown up in Glendowie, like, is never going to think of, like, their whole house is massive. They're never going to think of this. So those are the only few times I had to step in and be like, all right, I gotta defend my people a little bit.
That's so true. That's exactly why I stopped explaining to people, because it takes a lot of effort. And I just feel like Pacifica people shouldn't need to explain themselves all the time. And like, I get it if you want to like explain to someone and correct them, but if it takes up too much of your energy and like just, you don't need to explain yourself, but it's always good to educate them, but it can get annoying. I'll say that. It can get really annoying. Yeah. All right. Let's go, Ryan.
Oh, me again?
Is it you or me?
I think it's you.
Oh, it's me. Jokes.
Reshuffling those cards again, Hannah.
What was the last risk you took?
Ooh. The last risk I took.
I'm trying to think of how deep of a risk, because getting out of the house is a risk. No, but I think the last risk I took was jumping on the Pacific Morning Show to host.
Damn.
That was the riskiest change for me, because at first I was like,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm the cameraman. I'm the
Yeah.
one behind the scenes
Yeah.
that sets it up. I'm not the one who talks for a living.
Yeah.
But that was a very rewarding risk.
Yeah.
I've thoroughly enjoyed my time in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd be a lot more nervous.
Yeah.
But
You're doing really
guess not.
well.
Yeah.
Honestly.
that was the last risk I took.
Yeah.
She was like, I can't remember the last risk I took. I mean, probably similar. Was kind of leaving your comfortable, secure 9 to 5 as well, you know. Knowing that, you know, at the back of my mind that I had a mortgage and a family, and it's probably something that at my age you wouldn't do. Pick your dream job over, you know.
Yeah.
And at my age, dream job was at the top of the list, and that was probably like the biggest risk that I took, and I absolutely loved that I took it. I think definitely over the last couple of years, there's been changes where I've implemented them here and there so that I can kind of like accommodate to the things or the small changes that we've made in my family, you know, with the house that's just been bought and all that kind of stuff. So definitely been small changes, you know, kind of inserted here and there.
Yeah.
So that I can finally go, okay, I can still live my dream. I've kind of learnt, I took that risk on, you know, just taking it head on. And then now I'm kind of like stepping back, okay, yeah, you need to do this here and there, make a few changes here and there. And I'm glad I took it, because had I not taken it, I wouldn't have learnt how to manage certain things. Still learning, but definitely going in the right direction, I think, in the new year. A little bit, I'll be more organised.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I think the last risk I took was deciding to pay my own bills, really. Because now
Being an adult.
Yeah, being an adult
It's a risk.
is a risk. You know, I'm used to living with my brothers and sisters, and our family like lives together or will move together. So when I decided to, you know, my parents moved, they're now serving full time for church, and I have to pay my own rent and buy my own food. And it's a big risk.
It is a big risk.
I won't say I like it. Nah, it's been challenging but rewarding. It's offered me a lot of insight, independence, and I'm learning a lot, really. But it's just like, now I'm just like, man, this is what it feels like to be an adult. Is you pay your rent or you don't have a house. Like you got, you know, you got to buy food and stuff like that. So I know that sounds a bit spoiled, but that's my last big risk that I took.
Shucks.
Alrighty.
Yeah. If you could time travel to the future and meet your 85-year-old self, what would you ask?
What were the winning lottery ticket numbers? Can you tell me, if I fast forwarded in time, I'd probably be sitting somewhere and they wouldn't know the lottery numbers,
Yeah.
the winning
No,
lottery
100%.
numbers.
I would
Or would
ask.
they?
I would ask who won the World Cups on this year.
True.
Because I can remember that. Even
Yeah.
though I don't watch rugby or I don't watch sport, I can remember. I don't know the score.
Yeah.
I don't know who won.
See you at the TAB.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one.
I can't answer that question. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's really loaded. Besides from the lotto one, but I don't know what I would
Because you
ask
can
myself.
go real deep with the questions. and
Yeah.
You can ask questions like, am I successful? Did I ever be successful?
Yeah,
Did I ever fulfill my dreams?
exactly.
Did I have kids?
And do I want to know?
yeah. Do you want to know that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do I want to know? Actually, probably not.
Yeah. Sorry.
Was I a
haven't
good
answered that,
wife?
guys.
Yeah, nah.
Nah,
You know what?
we can move on.
I'm going to go for level 4. Okay. What did your family teach you about love? What did your family teach you about love?
Love is action. That's probably the one thing. It's always, that's how my family express love is through what you do, not what you say.
Yeah. I think Maona's, for me, love is whialofangi, is just for me. Because I think you as a family, love is really kind of like setting your needs aside and just really kind of just coming together and saying, well, Bear needs this. So we're just kind of like, even though we don't agree, but we'll just kind of like try and nurture that side and be there for her. Or, you know, and we just do it together. We do it as one big happy family. And my sister needs this. Okay, we're going to take the risk. We're going to, even though we, you know, we love her that much, we want her to win. So, yep, okay, sweet. We will all agree as one. Yep, Wita, yep, you can use this house to get your other house. So it's just, I think that is just being all in sync with...
Like being considerate of each other?
You know, even though it doesn't necessarily benefit me today, that's kind of like what we've done as a family. And, you know, 20 years ago, I didn't think that, you know, buying a house would benefit, you know. I just did it because I knew it was going to benefit my family, even though at the time it was just me and my sister. You know, 20 years later, I know that even though A, B, and C haven't contributed what we did, I know that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what stage or family. That's what my family has taught me, is just being one, whālofangi, to just for a better future for all of us. Yeah. So that's for me, that's been love, because I know when money and assets are involved, it can get really messy. And I think for my family to actually sit there and say, hands down, this is love. You know, no contracts, no nothing. Do it. Yeah. Yeah. That's for me, is my all family. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so my family taught me that if the love is unconditional, you give. You give whatever you can. You fulfill their needs and they'll fulfill yours. And like, I've taken this forward because I know that whenever I've needed something, like my dad might be stressed out from work and have no money, or my mom will be stressed out from work and have no money, but they'll do anything in their power to give me what I needed. And now that I am in the position that I am now, I've learned that it's time to give back. It's time to, whenever someone in my family needs the help, I'll step in. I know, because that's what I was taught.
Nice.
And that's the one good lesson
Yeah.
that I've taken from my family.
Yeah, I love that.
That's so awesome. I love that. All right, guys, I want to draw our final question for today because we're running out of time. There's like 100 questions in this game. And I think we already know each other relatively well.
Yeah.
But this has been awesome to get to know you guys. So our final question is, who has had the most positive impact on your life this year?
I would have to definitely say my sister. I was like, the first person I had in my mind was actually my mom. But I think if I move, just because I am so grateful for my mom. I love my mom, absolutely love her. But I think this year is definitely my sister. Weta, all of them, all three of them, they've all played, you know, a significant part. And my brother, love you guys, just in case. But definitely has to be Weta. I think, you know, she's a second born, well, third, because, you know, without my sister. But I think in that line, she's had the biggest impact and the biggest, you know, positive impact. She's motivated me to do things that I wouldn't do. She's every single day, or pretty much every single day without fail, she sent me messages of encouragement. She sent me online things to help improve what I'm currently doing, you know, podcasting. So any podcast news or broadcast that she's seen that she felt was connected, she will send it. And just the house. I mean, you know, she really just kind of like outdid herself by really pushing that narrative that we can do it. And she really, really highlighted that we needed to stop mucking around and, you know, just invest time in each other. And she was just she played a massive part in steering a lot of what direction for me this year. And problems, but that's been probably the one person that's had the most positive impact in my life this year, and I'm grateful. Apart from my whole family.
For me, it's definitely my partner. It's like having that rock that you can lean on.
Yeah.
Anytime things get hard, it's this person's been that for me.
Yeah.
I've been able to go home after a long and stressful day and then just relax because I know I'm taken care of.
Yeah.
And I know I'm returning to something that, like, returning to a space
It's
that I
safe.
can be myself,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
safe. And this person's definitely given me a lot of that this year.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of ups and downs this
Yeah.
year. A lot of busy times, a lot of not busy times, a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'll forever be grateful
Yeah.
to be able to have that space whenever I go home.
Yeah.
No, that's so cool.
That's really cool. Shout out to Ryan's partner. For me, the most positive impact on your life this year is probably my dad. Yeah. I've never, honestly, my whole life, me and my dad was like constant clashing. I just always felt like he never understood me or I never understood him. But the older I grow, or the older I get, he's the one person that I always go to like for advice. So he's just helped like put everything into perspective for me, making sure that I'm not distracted by small little things that happen that are unimportant, instead of like focus on what you need to focus on. So yeah, probably my dad.
Yeah, no, that's cool. No, it's been such an awesome. I actually really enjoyed this game.
Yeah.
And it's definitely, I mean, some of the questions were really deep, but I think it is important that we continue to, I mean, I know some families, the communication part is quite,
Really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've tested this game on more than 20 families, and every family who has played this game it's ended in tears, or they couldn't carry on playing because someone had to go out. So I guess the purpose of this game is just to bring people together. We see our mental health rates rising because a lot of youth and Pasifika men feel like they don't have anyone to talk to. So this is kind of just like a gateway kind of thing to help people to learn how to express themselves, learn how to share their feelings safely, which I'm hoping this game will do.
Oh, no, I think it
Yeah.
definitely will. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's definitely an important game for people to play.
Yeah.
I'd love to take it home and play it with my family.
For sure.
'Cause, like, the conversation's there, but nothing deep like
Nothing
this.
deep like this,
yeah.
But it'll be really interesting to see what like my parents would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I played with my family. It was interesting. Yeah.
Honestly, really enjoyed that game, and I I highly recommend this game because I think it's going to definitely bring a different feel to the year. But everyone that has tuned in to our Pacific morning show, we are truly grateful for the love and the support, for waking up early with us. And we hope that the show has brought joy to you every morning, that we've been able to share the space with you. Have a very, very Merry Christmas, because I know we're going to have a great Christmas. Don't forget, next year, we're going to come back stronger. We're going to come back with so much more. So don't forget to check us out. Like, love, and share. Have a great Christmas, everyone. God
Merry
bless.
Christmas.
So fast before.
Oh, were we going to sing Merry? Nah, just kidding.
Okay, let's sing Merry Christmas.
wish you a merry. Wait, what was the song? We
Wish you a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Great tidings we bring to you and your
friends.
friends.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
That Tongan lady in church. Bye, guys.
Auto-tune.